It appears Gavin Newsom is going to run for president. He was on Bill Maher the other night, so let's dive right in and check that out.
You look great.
God bless you.
Always do.
He looks great. He looks like a slimy politician, because that's what he is.
And this is a California show.
Yeah, he says it's a California show, but let me tell you what, Bill Maher is, he's slowly edging toward the right. I know it, you know it, we all know it. Bill Maher's got a lot of common sense, and his party is going downhill fast. He's coming over.
Podcast, you're governor, you're running for president. Where do you get...
All the audience is laughing about it, but look at the smile on Gavin Newsom's face. That's because it's true. He definitely wants to run for president.
2 inspections I needed to have. Why? It's my roof.
That's one of the many, many problems of California. Way too much regulation. I have heard so many horror stories of after the fires, people trying to rebuild, and they simply can't. They can't do it. It's their own properties. You think this would be protected by the Constitution. No. California has all the red tape in the world. Y'all want the rest of the country to be nothing but red tape? Well, if you do, elect Gavin Newsom.
That's it?
That's it.
That's just a statement.
No.
What? That's just a statement? It's a huge issue Bill Maher has, and tons of other people have it too. But that's all he has to say about it. You know what's funny? Notice he didn't answer the question. I wonder how many questions he's actually going to answer directly that Bill Maher asked him. Let's see.
Last time we talked about regulations, you said, oh, it's a completely new day.
Well, no, wait.
Direct quote there. That's what he said last time. It's a completely new day. Things are going to change. Things are going to change. The future is bright with hope. And look, with these types of politicians, these slimy, good-looking politicians, they're trying to win everyone over with their good looks. Well, let me tell you what they're not going to win you over with. Their actual policies, because they're all talk. That's all this guy is. He's nothing but talk. He'll say this, he'll say that, he'll say whatever he has to get elected. But you know what he won't do? The right thing. And he won't do what the people want him to do. That's for damn sure.
You said you were working on it.
By the way, and last week you had Ezra Klein on, which was incredibly important. He wrote a book called Abundance.
What? What just happened? Yeah, last week you had Ezra Klein on, and he wrote this. Bill just asked you about the regulations. He just asked you about his roof. And Gavin Newsom just slid. Ooh, he just slid right under that one, didn't he?
To what you've tried to do with your damn roof for the last 15 years.
Yo, 15 years Bill Maher has been trying to get solar on his roof. Isn't Gavin Newsom one of the biggest supporters of green energy? Well, let me tell you what, that's a common thing you'll see. There's so many people out there that are the biggest supporters of green energy. And y'all know exactly why they're in it. For the moolah, baby. I have no idea what Gavin was just rambling about. He just threw a bunch of BS out there about we plan to get this done. He has had forever. What has he done to California? He has run it into the ground. The biggest exodus since the gold rush, the biggest migration since the gold rush happened out of California. Audience was just laughing at him about a high-speed rail system. Can you imagine California building a high-speed rail system? I'm guessing a rail system that should cost, something like $50 million. California, it would cost them $200 billion because of all the red tape and every grifter that wants to get their sticky little fingers in the pie.
And I wrote that, this is from my old book, regulators, administrators, inspectors, contract reviewers. These are all the people involved. Project managers, fee assessors, special commissioners, zoning officers, consultants, contractors, lawyers, lobbyists, sometimes unions also. Can't you take a chainsaw? Can't we doge the shit out of these people?
Exactly. This is exactly what I was just talking about. All the types of people that Bill just mentioned want to get rich off any project. That's the biggest problem with not only California, but the United States as a whole. All these slime balls, when anything needs to get done that the people will benefit from, these slime balls want to get rich off of it. And they absorb all the money and they suck in all the money like freaking black holes. And then guess what? We don't get anything done.
I couldn't agree more with Ezra.
You agree? You agree? Then do something about it.
They call it platforming. If you talk to someone you don't agree with.
Yeah.
Bro, platforming, talking to someone you don't agree with. You'll see this all the time from the left, for all the time from the cesspool hive mind on Reddit, where they will silence anyone with opposing viewpoints. And then the funny thing is, they'll call you a fascist. No matter what or how I feel about something, no matter how passionately I feel about something, I am always open to hearing the viewpoint of the other side. And I'm always open to changing my mind. Why? Because there's only one truth. There's only one truth, and it ain't political.
The next president's going to be, at least if it comes from this party, the Democratic Party, someone who wants to talk and heal.
The next president is not coming from the Democratic Party. Not even close. The next president is probably going to be Vance. To be the president, you at least need the vote of males. And no one in the Democratic Party has the male vote right now.
It's one thing to make noise, but you also have to make sense. And I think with this podcast and...
Bro, your podcast? Dude, forget your podcast and get back in the office and start changing laws that actually help the people of your state. Are you kidding me?
And I think it's important. Democrats, we tend to be a little more judgmental than we should be.
A little bit more judgmental. Democrats. Oh my God. Go on Reddit and go in there with a right-wing opinion. See how much hate you get and see how long you last before you get straight up banned if you make any post outside of a conservative subreddit.
Had a rule that schools cannot be required to notify parents if their kids in school have changed their gender, their pronouns.
This is exactly why the Democratic Party is crashing and burning. They would hide information about the children from their parents. No responsible parent would ever support any politician who backs these type of laws.
That's the kind of thing, even though it doesn't affect a lot of people, that makes a lot of people go, well, you know what? That's the party without common sense.
Snitching on the kid to the parents, does that make any sense at all?
I just think that was wrong. I think teachers should teach. I don't think they should be required to turn in kids. And by the way,
we're talking about their parents. How can you snitch?
They're their parents. They're the ones taking care of them. They're the ones who are making the choices to keep this child on the right path. They act like kids are these geniuses and have their own autonomy. Kids are retarded. Kids don't know what the hell is going on. If there's a young boy and all these kids he's talking to tells him he's a girl and that he needs to start doing these things, the parents need to be told right away so they can tell this boy the truth and he's not confused. Because kids want to fit in. Kids will believe anything. They're easily taken advantage of. Yo, this stuff makes me sick.
Again, this is the issue of should biologically born men be able to compete in women's sports?
That's tough.
That's tough. That's tough. This should be the simplest issue. Actually, so many of these issues are so simple. If you let men compete against women at any level, the women are going to be robbed of everything. They're going to be robbed of their medals. They're going to be robbed of opportunities. They're going to be robbed of scholarships. They're going to be robbed of glory. We've seen it time and time again. There are major differences between men and women. I'm going to do a whole nother video on this, but this is so crazy. And he says, that's tough? That's tough? How hard is it to say men and women will not compete against each other in sports? Are you kidding me? This country is probably going to hell in a handbasket. What's going on? I thought we were moving past this type of thing. Whoever still supports this, whoever supported this at any point in time, you're out of your freaking mind.
And 80% of the people are with you on this now. Yeah. If the Democrats can't get with 80, how are they going to do something when it's a 51-49?
But the way I look at it is, if you support men competing against women in sports, you are anti-women. You hate women. Straight up.
And the other side weaponizes these issues. They dehumanize, they attack, they demean, and they've weaponized this issue extraordinarily well.
I mean, I'm sorry to harp on this point. Just imagine you had a daughter. You had, like, it doesn't matter, 8 to 18-year-old daughter, and you go to one of your daughter's meets, whatever it is. It could be anything. Swim, it doesn't matter what sport it is. Let's say it's wrestling, and you go to watch your 14-year-old daughter wrestle, and a guy comes up to wrestle your daughter. And you have to sit there and watch her get literally manhandled by a dude who says he's a woman just so he can be at the top.
After example, just in my home state, there was someone that won a triple jump by 8 feet.
Right.
Yeah, the dude who says he's a woman won a triple jump by 8 feet and probably broke a world record in high school. Because that's just how it works. You all know that's how it works. And the audience is sitting here laughing at this. This is the most unfunny thing ever. Girls out there competing against each other, thinking it's a level playing field. And then a dude with balls, been a dude all his life, comes out there, puts his balls on the line, and destroys these girls in the triple jump by 8 feet. A monstrous amount.
It was fundamentally unfair. We haven't been able to figure that out.
Gavin Newsom hasn't been able to figure out what to do when it comes to men versus women in sports. Well, I think that says it all, folks. That's a wrap. Because if he can't figure that one out, what the hell can he figure out?
Or cancel you because you have the audacity to go visit with Trump.
Once again, the left wanting to cancel somebody because they go visit the president, because they go visit someone with an opposing viewpoint. Look, we're all Americans. We all want the same thing. If we can't have conversations, what the hell can we have? We certainly can't have peace. And these far left people, these people with these super left-wing ideologies, they are the craziest, most demented, nutso people in the country.
Right.
But we need to own our mistakes. So we need to own what's wrong with our party.
Once upon a time, I would have considered myself part of the left. Many of us would. It seemed like they were the party that represented the average working man, the average family. Not anymore. The left represents wild, demented ideologies that are dangerous and toxic to average people and to average families.
I mean, your future is not in California. Your future is in Iowa.
His future is in Iowa. By God, I hope not. I hope this guy gets nowhere near the office of the president, because he would bring this country to its knees if what he's done with California is any indication. And why would we even give him a chance when he has screwed up California to the point of no return? Why would we give Gavin Newsom a chance?
You want things to change, you got to change. And that's what the podcast is about.
So there we go. Gavin Newsom on Bill Maher. He's out there trying to promote his podcast. Maybe that's what this is all about, but I think he's drumming up votes for his presidential election, trying to gain favor. I don't think Gavin Newsom directly answered any of Bill Maher's questions. I'd have to go back and watch it, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. Look, this guy has single-handedly destroyed California. I got one of my buddies. He lives out in California, and every night he calls me up in tears about what's happened to his state. He's so sad. And I'm like, bro, come on back home to North Carolina. Come on back here. We'll take care of you. But he's out there in California. And it sucks. It sucks, man. Gavin Newsom, he's sent California to hell in a handbasket. He's burned it down. He's made California way too gay. And not the good kind of gay. Not the kind of gay where it's like you fondle your best friend balls and then say no homo and then y'all laugh about it. Nah, not that kind of gay. It's more like try to castrate your children and turn them into the opposite sex gay. All right. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And let me know down in the comments, do you like Gavin Newsom? Would you want him to be the person running this country? What do you like about him? What don't you like about him? Let me know in the comments. Peace out.